What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio1Tutorials.com and pick up Lit today. 5 mastering presets with stock plugins that'll let you save some money and put off buying Ozone and T-Rax and FXG and just Pro L and all those type of expensive plugins when you can get mastering done with the great plugins that Presonus has designed for us. Today we're going to be looking at a problem that I have with using like a Grossbeat type of effect, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Today I'm going to be going over something that I did in Machine and I plan to mix in Studio One because that's how I work a lot. I produce in Machine and go ahead and mix in Studio One. The track that I got going on here, I'm probably gonna you Machine users. I'm gonna start doing some serious trap tutorials with Machine because the community could use them. So anyway. What I got going on is I have this track here. And the problem, if you have an astute ear, what I'm doing is I'm using Shaper Box by Cable Guys, and you basic motherfuckers aren't gonna understand how dope this plugin is, but basically what they did is they took the concept of Grossbeat and you know, I know that you see your fucking favorite producer in their Periscope using Grossbeat, but Grossbeat is garbage. All right, it's not on this level. This plugin, you can do multi-band, you can control each fucking band that you set up with different time-based effects, and Grossbeat only has a time module and a volume module. This has a pan module. This has a width module. You could this has a filter module as well. So all those same functions that you do in Grossbeat with the steps and the record scratches and the halftime preset and shit like that, you could do in here, but you could apply it to different bands. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off so you can just hear the difference. Alright, so that's the melody with... here, let me just solo that for a second, actually. So that's what you get without it. With this enabled, and this isn't a preset. I designed this. This is... that is a tone that you cannot get out of Grossbeat, but you can hear it. You can hear the low being dragged down. Like if we solo this band. Let me bring this one in. See, I'm taking the highs and so anyway, I'm gonna turn the solo off. Anyway, it's so fucking powerful. Fuck Grossbeat, man. So anyway, the problem that I'm having here is you'll notice if you have an astute ear, and now that I'm pointing it out to you, you'll notice when I get to this when I get to the second bar and the fifth bar, I'm getting these pops that is basically this plugin transitioning back to the original bar, and it's not a good sound. So that is not gonna work for me in a mix in a you know, if you're a novice producer, you're just starting out, or you're just you're not really skilled at mixing, that might turn you off from using or especially if you fucking hack this plugin, right? And you didn't pay the $120 that it cost. You would hear those presets and be like, I can't use it, it paps, you know. But like, dude, when you pay for your shit, you gotta come up with a solution. So I'm like, all right, dude, I hear all that happening. Let me take that out of the VST world, go into Studio One now, where I have the track laid out. Let's locate it. Alright, so here it is right here. And what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna get very sneaky. Get rid of the mixer here. I'll blow that up so I can see it. And I know that the problem is occurring right here. So I don't like the way that sounds. That transition. So I'm gonna cut that. That could sound a little bit better. As a matter of fact, it's happening on every bar. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just chop those four. Now that's the loop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt so I could duplicate this entire track. Go ahead and mute this track. And let's see, I'll color it a different color so it stands out. Color it yellow, right? So this way I can see the arrangement. All right, so I can delete this, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna highlight this, right click on it and go to create crossfades. Zoom in a little bit and just loop it up so that I can get rid of that pop that occurs from sound to, or from bar to bar. See, it already sounds a lot better. Now I'm just gonna so on the second one, on this one it sounds fine, but this shit right here is still bugging me. Let's get that. Ah, it's gone. Yes. Oh, little pop right there. Shift click U. See what we got now. Excellent. Okay. Now I'm just going to take this and hitting Alt M, and what that does is merges it. Then I'll press Control B to bounce it. And the pop is gone. So now, using my yellow track below here as a guide, I'm just going to go ahead and press D. That way I know where to drop this. I'll hold down Alt. Go ahead and press D to duplicate it. Hold down Alt, click and drag, press D to duplicate. Now I can get rid of this track. And I'm going to just press Control B so I could bounce those together so they're one track. And now when we run it, no pops. So yeah, man, you know, basically the point of this tutorial is to kind of, kind of just get across the point that you have two stages in your production process. You have your creation, and then you have your mixing. So don't get necessarily caught up in a mixing issue during the production process. If you got something like, because that pop happens in Grossbeat too. If you got something like Grossbeat or the Time Stretcher, or anything that's affecting like the pitch and time stretching, and going from one value to another from bar to bar, and you're hearing a pop in every cycle that the plugin occurs, don't think that that process isn't going to work. Sometimes you need to just bounce the audio, get into an audio environment, and go ahead and start employing mix engineer techniques. You know what I mean? Because that's happening. Anytime Southside or TM or Metro is using that shit, they're getting the same exact pop. It's just that when that shit goes to mixing, there's an engineer who's paid to fix that problem, and they go ahead and fix the problem. So sometimes you just got to remember, especially if you're posting beats online, throwing them on BeatStars, throwing them on SoundCloud and whatnot. You're going to need to either work with a partner who's experienced in engineering, or just employ techniques like this. This is the easiest thing in the world. Crossfades, very powerful. So remember, keep it simple, don't be basic. This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One tutorials. We will see you on the next one.